Alright guys, I'm back. This be my disaster project for today. I've got boxes here I need to empty. This is the shelving unit, the plastic stamped together one I'm going to put in here. Those are all clean, but they're all cleaning cloths and cloth napkins and whatnot, so I need to organize that. Finally got our washer and dryer in here, but I have crap all over the place in here. Guys are in the living room playing Nintendo 64, PlayStation 4. Yeah, I got nothing. I don't know what it's called. But I did somewhat organize up here, but it's still driving me nuts. So I'm going to take all of this stuff out, put the shelving unit in, reorganize it. There, I can empty the boxes, and because I've got a couple of them that were delivered today. This is our retarded door. The dog's had messed up that we'll replace before we move out of the apartment, but it came off the strip. So I went ahead and took my doorknob off because I bought a doorknob so that I could turn it around and lock the kids out of here, because this is where I tend to keep snacky items. So I've been keeping those in our bedroom for now, which, let me tell you, that's just a nightmare to begin with. But I want to clean up all of this crap from all over the place and get the stuff out of here that doesn't need to be in here and organize this a little bit better. So this is my project of the day. This room is not shaped well to put my tripod in here and have you actually be able to see anything. Not only that, but I'm going to have Sky come in and help me too. So with the tripod and everything in here, it would just be quite difficult to move around without knocking my phone off the tripod and whatnot. So I'm giving you a before. Again, I've got these boxes here that need to be emptied. One of those, of course, is the shelving unit. And then I've got Jerry Lee trying not to eat Sky with the box on the bed. Box down here that needs to be put up. And then I got all of this stuff in here needs to be organized a little bit better and put away in a better fashion. So I'm going to start first by emptying the room. So I'll be back when I've got an update to show you. Jerry Lee, what you doing? Okay, so the guys are still out in the living room playing games, so can't close the door because they're being a little bit loud. My boyfriend's got a couple friends over and they're playing on the game system, but I wanted to show you the finished so far. Like I said, we had a problem with one of the dogs chewing up the door, but I was able to attach it back to the strips, letting him have his man day with the guys, attached it back to the strips, and able to put the doorknob back on so I can now lock the kids out of here, which I'm really grateful of. So I've got the shelving unit in. Stuff that was on this side I just kind of left the way it was. I've got some empty containers here that need to go back to Grams with me when I go and get another load. They're called cafeteria trays, but I like them for like when I'm wanting the kids to paint or play with Play-Doh or something like that. That's a little bit more messy. I can contain it because if it gets off of the tray, they're done. And they know. So right now I've got just these are my dish rags I need to take back into the kitchen. But on the bottom I've got the appliances we don't necessarily use as often, like my crock pot, big things, bulky things, heavy things, my food processor, and then we've got some little food items down in here for now, because like I said, I don't have everything in here, and I kind of will probably need to reorganize as we use things up. So then I tried to come up with the things that we use more often, which is my espresso maker. These are some grocery items I just got from the store because I did my monthly shop yesterday, which is why I wanted to get this room straightened up. Then I've got one of my waffle makers. I've got one still in Indiana. My waffle cone maker, sandwich maker, panini press. I've got a jar of peanut butter. Ooh. I've got the blender. This is a juicer. These two guys I don't necessarily reach for as often, but they're tall, so this was the only shelf that I could get them on. Toaster, because we use that practically all the time. But we don't have enough counter space or cabinet space in the kitchen to leave it in there. So just to kind of keep as much out of the kitchen as we can. And up on top, I didn't do, there we go. I didn't do really anything with the stuff up top, and it's as best as it can be right now until I can get some other storage solutions for up there, but that's still a work in progress. So this top bin right now, if I can get it to focus, I've got bread, hot dog buns, some bagels, and then some bags of chips that we'll be using for one of our meal plans for one of our meals, I should say. I've got my cloth napkins and this one, all the different ones. I folded them all up and stacked them in there nicely. And down here I have on this side baking potatoes because we're going to do a baked potato bar for one day. And on this side is red potatoes because we're going to be using those for a recipe as well. I've got some of my aprons here right now because I do like those when I'm making bread and stuff, anything messy with flour, because you know, that crap gets all over the place. And then my sugar and flour bins are there, which looks like when I was filling them, because one of the boxes that I had in the other room to put in was a big bag of sugar and a big bag of flour, so it looks like I need to wipe those two off. Then I've got my card table, extra plumbing pieces from when I fixed underneath the kitchen sink. And then my lint garbage can that's in here for when I empty the lint tray. And then, well, and as you can see, my flour bag is in there too, so is the empty sugar bag. But I don't even want to know what they're talking about in there because it just reload. And then I've got my laundry detergent here, and I've been using Foca. This bag here, I just got, it was one of the items that I had delivered to me. I mean, it's a big bag. It's huge. You can see how big it is compared to my foot. It's 176 ounces, I think is what it says. Yeah, 176.36 ounces. So it's 11.02 pounds. And it was $8. $8 and change. I loved making my homemade laundry detergent, but I cannot make it that cheap. So right now, for convenience's sake and expense sake, that is actually working out very well. They do usually have smaller bags. I found it at Family Dollar, found them at Walmart. Smaller bags usually around $2 to $3, so it's still pretty inexpensive. And I've got my cooler. I did empty the gray bin of my cleaning cloths and whatnot because that's going to be used for blankets in the living room. That was what I had bought it for. So I took everything out of there, folded it, and found a spot for it, or well, that's the spot for it for right now anyway. And then my toolbox, and that's the blind from the girls' bedroom that somehow has gotten knocked down, and I just haven't had time to look at it and see if there's something that I need to do to it, or if I can just put it right back up. It's on my list. It's on my list. But there you have it. Like I said, we will be replacing this door eventually, but in the meantime, I needed it to be functional still because there's only so many rooms right now that have doors on it, and our dogs are wonderful, don't get me wrong, but they're still food thieves if they can get access to it. So I fixed the door before I put the bread in here because I wanted to make sure that I could keep the dogs out of this room and not have to worry about them getting into that stuff. So that's how it is for now. If anything changes or any additions are made or whatnot, I will take you along for that process too, because like I said, I still have stuff in Indiana. I still have this whole section of area that I could use for storage as well, along with, I mean, this apartment has some pretty high ceilings. So, I mean, I don't know if you can tell, this is, let me see, this is a 15-ounce can of corn. I've got two stacked high, and I could probably actually stack quite a bit still up to the top above that. So I've got plenty of space above. I just need to find a way to get some different shelves added in. And I realize you can't see that hand, sorry. Get some shelves added in above that, or even like a modified version of this. Instead of doing a 4-shelf, take it and do 2 double shelves, like just these 2 shelves, the first top 2 shelves, and put it up there and do that twice. I realize y'all can't see my hand. But this shelving unit was from Walmart, $20. There were some bad reviews, there were some good reviews, but for $20, it's not bad. It's pretty lightweight, but it holds up to about, it said it holds up to about 250 pounds, which if you think about it, that's pretty sturdy for a plastic thing. And I figured it is plastic, which means it's going to be easily wiped down. We have 2 dogs, 3 cats, which means they have a ton of hair, and I'm constantly sweeping up hair. And I wanted something that I could easily wipe down, which is why if you notice a lot of my organizing solutions are plastic, because I can take that, wash it down with soap and water or an all-purpose cleaner, or I can take the plastic bins that are up there if something has leaked in it, and I can take it to the sink and wash it in the sink and dry it in my dish drainer. You know what I mean? It's not like they're a lot easier to maintenance, in my opinion. Again, that's not to say that that is the case across the board, but where I had my place before, I was on well water, so my water was extremely rusty and had a lot of minerals in it. So anything metal rusted like mad crazy, and it just looked horrible and looked horrible quickly. So it's just, I have since then, I mean, and I was there for 10 years. So because of that issue, I mean, even plastic things discolored over time with the well water. So I just have gone to things that are easier to clean and maintenance and maintain. So, but that is what we've got so far. Like I said, I'm still trying to figure out upper shelf and how to better utilize this space for what we need it for, because this is, again, basically, we don't have a pantry. This is basically our pantry as well as laundry room and food storage room, whatever you want to call it. That dang dong exit button again. Sorry, I got to talking. I wasn't paying attention where my hands were. But this has got to be a multi-purpose room, and I've got to make it function as best as I can. So right now, this will function okay, but as things get used up, say, for example, these are my homemade helper kit things in here. Once those are gone, I will use that basket for something else if I decide not to make those ones again. Because again, we haven't really had time to try any of them, so I don't know which ones are good and which ones aren't. Now, Mr. Washer here has a tendency of moving itself, kitty catty corner, out of there. So I wanted to make sure that I had as much floor space as possible for when I do have to come in here and move the baby back. But still, again, utilize as much space as possible. And like I said, I still have this whole wall too. There is nothing on that big wall. I mean, this is a pretty good, they are loud. I'm gonna have to yell at them. But this is a pretty good sized room for what it is. I mean, don't get me wrong. This is probably the size of my bathroom was at my trailer. Not even, but it's pretty spacious for what it is. This was probably actually would have been what was considered my laundry room at the trailer, which was a bedroom that had been converted. So, I mean, it's not really all that big. It would fit a bed, maybe a dresser, but it still would function as another bedroom if the need arose. So, because of that, I do have quite a bit of wall space. And like I said, I have all of this wall space as well. I am trying to be cautious on what I mount on the walls because, again, this is an apartment building. This is not our house. So I've got to be careful. Oops, I was bumping the washing machine. I gotta be careful with what I hang up. So solutions like this are what best work for us right now. But again, as I adjust things and bring more things here and get all of my crap and junk and the SHIT stuff that I have. I know it's probably not the most nicest way of saying it, but I got a lot of crap. And I don't mean crap literally, I just mean a lot of stuff. And as I'm moving it, I'm also going through it and eliminating things that I really don't need. So, as of right now, this is the end result. As I've said, very long-windedly, but I will bring you back if I do any changes or updates or anything along the way. So I will see you then.